Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Thanks for being here with me. I'm thankful. Another day. Went to the gym this morning. Thanks for keeping me in prayer. I've been transitioning a lot, trying to transition in what I do daily, more professional. Um, have a portfolio of forms of work that I do, and prayerfully in time, I can be more remote ultimately, so I can do some traveling. I like to get me a minivan, Toyota minivan, Sienna. I would like to do it for the end of the year so I can travel across country, but who knows? You just plan to move forward. That's all. Life's a journey. Enjoy it. Put Christ first. Oh my goodness. Today I want to look at first worldometers before we get into reading. First thing I look at is population. The current population is 8,208,148,800 people. Cars produced this year 13,724,870. Just moving up. I don't know if that's it's government and economics, so it's going to talk about our government. I like to stop at the food. People died of hunger today. 11,900 people. So to end up around 30,000 before the end of the day of individuals that's passed on. I am my Facebook recordings now only last 30 days. Facebook is getting rid of all other recordings as of June mid-year, and then it just be 30 days and that's it. So I'm going to do another post that goes to my YouTube. It doesn't, for me, it's fine because I like to see how many people watch, but truthfulness, it doesn't show it because it comes through YouTube. It's not initiated on YouTube, but it show on Facebook moving forward also. So for me, it just show one person, and I'm fine. You know, it's to go. I never get a good crowd, but it's about getting doing what the Lord will have you do. That's important. All right. Suicides this year. Suicides today. We have 1,140 suicides today. We should be cognitive of what goes on around us. Other people clock out. I've had a few people in my life, directly, more so indirectly, that have committed suicide, killed themselves. You don't know what goes on in a person's life. You don't know. People may talk about it over and over again. You get used to hearing it, and you're like, oh, here you go again. No, just take it serious every time. Um, just be there for them. Pray about it. Go prayerful. Jesus Christ can help us out with all our problems and concerns. I do know a few people that are overly depressed, and keep them in prayer. Hopefully seek help. Um, Talk to the Lord about your problems. You know, and ask Him to take you away from them or guide and direct you in them through whatever you're going through. You build a relationship with God. You see, that's important as He gets you through these things. because nothing's impossible for God. Today, I want to look at Psalms chapter 27. I want to read through that. I looked at it, said something the other day that Christians should pray. Let me make sure it's the right one. I said Psalms 27, but I posted. Let me go and look at it real quick. So one thing I did look at too was Psalms 28:28. When the wicked rise, men hide themselves, but when they perish, the righteous increase. Hmm. I did Psalms 27 already. Which one? I did Psalms 27 the other day. That's funny how it came back again to want to do it. Let me go look somewhere else real quick. We're not going to do Psalms 27 today. There is a Psalms 119, and it's got like 150 Bible verses. So that's what we'll do. We'll do Psalms 119. In fact, let me see, can I edit this now? You just stay with the program, sir. Stay with the program. Ooh, I know. I think it's 150 Bible verses. I'm wrong. It's 176. Well, let's get started. So we're reading Psalms 119. Blessed are the undefiled in the way, who walk in the law of the Lord. Blessed are they that keep his testimonies and that seek him with the whole heart. They also do no iniquity, they walk in his ways. Thou hast commanded us to keep thy precepts diligently. Oh, that my ways were directed to keep thy statutes. Then shall I not be ashamed when I have respect unto all thy commandments. I will praise thee with uprightness of heart when I shall have learned thy righteous judgments. I will keep thy statutes or forsake me not utterly. Wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way? By taking heed thereto according to thy word. With my whole heart have I sought thee. O let me not wander from thy commandments. Thy word have I hid in my heart that I might not sin against thee. Blessed art thou, O Lord, teach me thy statutes. With my lips have I declared all the judgments of thy mouth. I have rejoiced in the way of thy testimonies as much as in all riches. I will meditate in thy precepts and have respect into thy ways. I will delight myself in my statutes. I will not forget thy word. Deal bountifully with thy servant that I may live and keep thy word. Open thou my eyes that I may behold wondrous things out of the law. I'm a stranger in the earth. Hide not thy commandments from me. My soul breaketh for the longing that it hath unto thy judgments at all times. Thou hast rebuked the proud that are cursed, which do err from thy commandments. Remove from me reproach and contempt, for I have kept thy testimonies. Again, we're reading Psalms 119. We're on verse 23. Princes also did sit and speak against me, but thy servants did meditate in thy statutes. Thy testimonies also are my delight and my counselors. My soul cleaveth unto the dust. Quicken thou me according to thy word. I have declared my ways, and thou heardest me. Teach me thy statutes. Make me to understand the way of thy precepts, so shall I talk of thy wondrous works. My soul melteth for heaviness. Strengthen thou me according unto thy word. Remove me from the way of lying and grant me the law graciously. So either that person is lying or that person is amidst of that, of lying or something else. And grant me thy law graciously. So he's asking for compassion. He's saying something's wrong, but I need your help. I need your compassion. I need your grace. I need your mercy, right? I need your help. And I need for it to be dealt with delicately on my behalf. That's when I read that verse. That's what I see. I have chosen the way of truth. Thy judgments have I laid before me. I have struck into thy testimonies, O Lord. Put me not to shame. I will run the way of thy commandments when thou shalt enlarge my heart. Teach me, O Lord, the way of thy statutes, and I shall keep it into the end. Give me understanding, and I shall keep thy law. Yea, I shall observe it with my whole heart. Make me to go in the path of thy commandments, for therein do I delight. So the psalmist is saying, I can't do it without you. I need your help. I need your assistance as I walk through this world, Lord. We are dependent on God as we go. We fall and we falter when we don't have that dependency, right? When we step out on our own, when we're like Peter in the water, right? We set our eyes off of Christ and then we start to sink. But if we train ourselves to be completely dependent on God, then we won't have to learn on how, on being dependent on God the hard way. I play cornhole. So what I do is a board game. So I practice about 125 at least rounds, 125, 200 rounds a week, right? So I knew I suppose still it all looks the same, but it's not on how I throw. I know when I throw and I release the bag from my fingers, I don't throw from my fingers. I throw from my elbow or I throw from my shoulder. Everything comes through there. So, but sometimes when I throw, my elbow goes out. And then I realize the more I throw in the course of the day in the house, and it's like, oh, I should do it like this. Oh, my elbow should be tight against my body when I throw it. So now it's a training thing, right? And I need to feel it. Now I can feel it. I can feel when you get older, you learn. Like when you're driving your car, you listen to your vehicle. Oh, that don't sound right. Oh, I might need a little bit of oil or something. You listen to your body. So now when I play the game, it's helped me out because I listen to my body. I want to feel it on my throw coming through my elbow. You see, so I teach myself to do certain things so I won't have to learn the hard way. And it becomes more and more a habit because it's repetition. So now I learn, prior to that, through the Bible, I learned to ask God for help, guidance, direction to get me from point A to B. And when I'm doing things, even in success, because don't, we ask God for help when things aren't going our way. Our daughter's dating somebody you don't like, or step into this, now we want to go to God, right? But make it a habit, make it a part of you on your journey in life, regardless good or bad. Lord, hey, we got a couple $1,000,000 in the bank right now. We want to go out and buy a vehicle for our daughter. We want to go buy a vehicle for our son. We want to buy a vehicle ourselves. We want to go get a washing machine. Pray about it. Lord, which washing machine is it that you will have me have? And it's a good journey to go because sometimes you get something less than you think you might want to get. And then sometimes you're able to look back later on and say, oh, that's the blessing in this. Why it's given to me. Or this thing doesn't break at all and it's really good, right? Or it can be a humbling experience on why is it that I wanted something luxuriously, right? In a luxurious way. So when I read this, it's about give me understanding and I shall keep thy law. It's a humbling thing. Yea, I shall observe it with my whole heart. You give it to me, I'm going to put everything into it. Make me to go in the paths of thy commandments, for therein do I delight. Guide and direct me. This is where my joy is at, right? This is have me go that route. Don't have my pastor tell me the route to go. But there may be times have me go on this route, and the Lord like, hey, for the moment, follow this path, right? And there are times when I was off a week or 2 weeks from work, and I'm like, hey, pastor, there's something that you need me to do. I don't know. I'll paint a room, whatever you need to get done. Let me know, and I can do it for you. Because and then in hindsight, those things I appreciate when people can come and they will do it. Hey, pastor, brother Beauford, is there something that we can do that I can do to help out the church? Oh yeah, you're a plumber. Okay, we can use you. We need to get some pipes done. We need to do this or that. Those things, in hindsight, when those things are helpful, and the Lord used me in the other way, being the person that's like, hey, can I help you with this or this or this? Oh, can you do summer school? Yeah, because when people ask you, you put a time. I learned to put a time limit on it, and they still try to make you do it. And it's like, yeah, I can do it through the summer. You need a Sunday school teacher, I'll do it through the summer. Then they try to keep me down. It's like, no, I said I'll do it through the summer. Because I know when you get into court into doing things, you need to be, especially in church, you need to put a span of time on it. You can make yourself for 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year, and then reevaluate it again because that's important. Otherwise, you're going to feel like you're stuck in it or cutting the grass every day, every week, and then what happens after you leave that church? You're afraid to go to another church because the moment they hear you are active, they want to use you. But put limitations on it because your life in God is not just in a building; it's in what God will have you do. Incline my heart into thy testimonies and not to covetousness. We're asking, incline my heart into thy testimonies and not to covetousness. We're asking the Lord to protect us from us. Protect me from me, right? Throw away my eyes from beholding vanity and quicken thou me in thy way. Establish thy word unto thy servant who is devoted to thy fear. Turn away my reproach which I fear, for thy judgments are good. Again, Psalms 119, verses 39. We're on. It's 179 verses. Behold, I have longed after thy precepts. Quicken me in thy righteousness. Let thy mercies come also unto me, O Lord, even thy salvation according to thy word. So shall I have wherewith to answer him that reproaches me, for I trust in thy word. And take not the word of truth utterly out of my mouth, for I have hoped in thy judgments. So shall I keep thy love, so shall I keep thy law continually, forever and ever. This is like Proverbs, right? In a way. And will walk at liberty, for I seek thy precepts. I will speak of thy testimonies also before kings, and will not be ashamed. And I will delight myself in thy commandments, which I have loved. My hands also will I lift up unto thy commandments, which I have loved, and I will meditate in thy statutes. Remember the word unto thy servant, upon which thou hast caused me to hope. This is my comfort in my affliction, for thy word has quickened me. The proud have had me greatly in derision, yet have I not declined from thy law. That's important. I remember thy judgments of old, O Lord, and I remember thy judgments of old, O Lord, and have comforted myself. However, has taken hold upon me because of the wicked that forsake thy law. Thy statutes have been my songs in the house of my pilgrimage. I have remembered thy name, O Lord, in the night, and have kept thy law. This I have. This I had because I kept thy precepts. Thou art my portion, O Lord. I have said that I will keep thy words. I entreated thy favor with my whole heart. Be merciful unto me according to thy word. I thought on my ways and turned my feet into thy testimonies. How often do we do that? I thought, think about the way that you're going, think about the things that you're doing, think about how you do your job, how you live your life, how you communicate with your girlfriend, your children, your wife, your husband, your parents, your neighbors. All right? My neighbors. I love them, but there are times I wish they move. I got the only part, we got, I don't know how many apartment complexes, apartment 500. I got the ones that throw their stuff outside in front of the house, put it in front of my way, and I go to the landlord at times. But I take it to the Lord, give it to God, leave it there. Trust God. One of those things. Right? That's my challenge. If you give it to God, let him work it out, leave it alone. Don't say, oh, give it to God, he ain't take care of it. So let me go send a picture to the landlord. So I thought on my ways and turned my feet into thy testimonies. I made haste and delayed not to keep thy commandments. The bands of the wicked have robbed me, but I have not forsaken. The bands of the wicked have robbed me, but I have not forgotten thy law. At midnight I will rise to give thanks unto thee because of thy righteous judgments. I'm going to do it when it's inconvenient for me because they didn't. I mean, what light did they have? What time did they have to know what time it is? Right? Oh, it's not midnight yet. The moon is not up where it needs to be. Let me go back to sleep. I don't know. At midnight I will arise to give thanks unto thee because of thy righteous judgments. And I am a companion of all them that fear thee and of them that keep thy precepts. The earth, O Lord, is full of thy mercy. Teach me thy statutes. Thou hast dealt well with thy servant, O Lord, according to thy word. Teach me good judgment and knowledge, for I have believed thy commandments. Before I was afflicted, I went astray, but now have I kept thy word. Thou art good and doest good. Teach me thy statutes. The proud have forged a lie against me, but I will keep thy precepts with my own heart. You did me wrong, I'll do you wrong. No. You did me wrong. And remember, God said, it's a terrible thing to fall in the hands of the Lord or the living God. But it's something along those lines. And he says that vengeance is his. There are times we just got to step back. Their heart is as fat as grease, but I delight in thy law. It is good for me that I have been afflicted, that I might learn thy statutes. The law of thy mouth is better unto me than thousands of gold and silver. The law of thy mouth is better unto me than thousands of gold and silver. Thy hands have made me and fashioned me. Give me understanding that I may learn thy commandments. They that fear thee will be glad when they see me, because I have hope in thy word. I know, O Lord, that thy judgments are right, and that thou in faithfulness hast afflicted me. Let, I pray thee, thy merciful kindness be for my comfort, according to thy word and to thy servant. Let thy tender mercies come unto me, that I may live, for thy law is my delight. Let the proud be ashamed, for they dwelt perversely with me without a cause. But I will meditate in thy precepts. Let those that fear thee turn unto me, and those that have known thy testimonies. Let my heart be sound in thy statutes, that I be not ashamed. My soul fainteth for thy salvation, but I hope in thy word. My eyes fell for thy word, saying, when wilt thou comfort me? For I am become like a bottle in the smoke, yet do I not forget thy statutes. How many are the days of thy servant? When wilt thy How many are the days of thy servant? When wilt thou execute judgment on them that persecute me? The proud has digged pits for me, which are not after thy law. All thy judgments are faithful. They persecute me wrongfully. Help thou me. They had almost consumed me upon earth, but I forsook not thy precepts. Quicken me after thy loving kindness, so shall I keep the testimony of thy mouth. Forever, O Lord, thy word is settled in heaven. It's not settled here, not debate here. The word is settled in heaven. Everything is settled. It's not, it doesn't matter what the politicians do. It doesn't matter what the politicians say. God has the final word. Give me a moment. We're on verse Psalms 119, verses 90. Thy faithfulness is unto all generations, but thy faithfulness is unto all generations. Thou hast established the earth, and it abideth. Some good stuff. Psalms 119 is a good chapter to read. That's all I'm saying. Thy faithfulness is unto all generations. Thou hast established the earth, and it abideth. They continue this day according to thine ordinances, for all are thy servants. Unless the law had been my delight, I should then have perished in my afflictions. Unless thy law had been my delight, I should then have perished in mine afflictions. I will never forget thy precepts, for with them thou hast quickened me. I am thine. Save me, for I have sought thy precepts. The wicked have waited for me to destroy me, but I will consider thy testimonies. I have seen an end of all perfection, but thy commandment is exceeding broad. Oh, how love I thy law. It is my meditation all day. Though through thy commandment has made me wiser than my enemies, for they are ever with me. I have more understanding than all my teachers, for thy testimonies are my meditation. I understand more than the ancients, because I keep thy precepts. I have refrained my feet. I have refrained my feet from every evil way, that I might keep thy word. I have not departed from thy judgment, for thou hast taught me. How sweet are thy words into my last. How sweet are thy words into my taste, yea, sweeter than honey to my mouth. Though thy precepts I get understanding, therefore I hate every false way. Thy word is a light unto my feet, and a light, excuse me, thy word is a lamp unto my feet, and a light unto my path. I have sworn, and I will perform it, that I will keep thy righteous judgments. I am afflicted very much. Quicken me, O Lord, according into thy word. Psalms 119, verse 108. Except I beseech thee, the free willing offerings of my mouth, O Lord, and teach me thy judgments. My soul is continually in my hand, yet do I not forget thy law. The wicked hath laid a snare for me, yet I erred not from thy precepts. That's it. The wicked one. The things that you like the most is put in front of you. If you know you falter from drinking, it'll be on you. Denial. If you know you falter from females, it'll come as you do God's word. Those temptations will be there. If it's gambling, straying away, whatever it may be. The testimonies have I taken as an heritage forever, for they are the rejoicing of my heart. I have inclined my heart to perform thy statutes always, even unto the end. I hate vain thoughts, but thy law do I love. Thou art my hiding place and my shield. I hope in thy word. Depart from me, ye evildoers, for I will keep the commandments of my God. Uphold me according unto thy word, that I may live, and let me not be ashamed of my hope. Hold thou me, and I shall be safe, and I will have respect unto thy statutes continually. Thou hast trodden down all them that err from my statutes, for their deceit is falsehood. Thou puttest away all the wicked on the earth like dross. Therefore I love thy testimonies. I have done judgment and justice. Lead me not to my oppressors. Be surety for thy servant for good. Let not the proud oppress me. My eyes fail for thy salvation and for the word of thy righteousness. Deal with thy servants according to thy mercy and teach me thy statutes. I am thy servant. Give me understanding that I might know thy testimonies. It is time for thee, Lord, to work, for they have made void thy law. Therefore I love thy commandments above gold. Therefore I love thy commandments above gold, yea, above fine gold. Therefore I esteem all thy precepts concerning all things to be right, and I hate every false way. Thy testimonies are wonderful, therefore does my soul keep them. The entrance of thy words giveth light, it giveth understanding unto the simple. I open my mouth and pant for longeth for thy commandments. Look thou upon me and be merciful unto me, as thou usest to do unto those that love thy name. Order my steps in thy word, and let not any iniquity have dominion over me. Order my steps in thy word, and let not any iniquity have dominion over me. That passage right there is important to me because I don't position myself to do bad things. I don't want to do bad things. I don't want to be biased at work and put this person above that person or dismiss this person because this person's female and she may seem to be weak in a tough situation. I don't want to be that person. I'm not going to make those choices, and I'm not going to allow those choices to be made even when I'm in the room. So does it mean that I might get dismissed as a person or they may try to circumvent it around me? I've seen it. And I've been jobless because of it, because you have to be a Christian at all times. Now, am I harder? Do I think some Christians are harder to make certain stands? Yeah. But the Lord don't call me to make those stands. Because if a person's conviction is to do something that might have them lose their job, then that's their conviction, right? Because sometimes the Bible like, man, you shouldn't be in here talking about Jesus Christ at work. It's a workplace, and they may not see it that way. And who am I to tell them how to live their life, but to go with God? And I do what I do here, and if somebody bring up a conversation that's outside of work, out at work, but outside of work duty, then I have a right to speak about Christ. It's open game. because that's the conversation I would have if they come to me about it. It's like Keith, you talked about, yes, and he talked about his religion is the shirt that he's wearing. You know, it can be some form of ungodliness. That's his religion. That's what he believes in. So this is what I believe. It's my religion. He can continue to talk, or she can too. But I also know we have to have compassion and understanding on people. So every situation is different. Order my steps in thy word, and let not any iniquity have dominion over me. Verse 134 of Psalms 119. Deliver me from the oppression of man, so will I keep thy precepts. Make thy face to shine upon thy servant, and teach me thy statutes. Rivers of water run down my eyes, because they keep not thy law. Righteous art thou, O Lord, and upright are thy judgments. Thy testimonies thou hast commanded are righteous and very faithful. My zeal has consumed me, because my enemies have forgotten thy words. Thy word is very pure, therefore thy servant loveth it. I am small and despised, yet do not I forget thy precepts. The righteous is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. Trouble and anguish have taken hold on me, yet thy commandments are my delight. The righteous of thy testimonies is everlasting. Oh, I thought it was 143. I thought it was 179 verse. It was 143. No, it's more. It is 100. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. Truth and anguish have taken hold on me, yet thy commandments are my delights. The righteousness of thy testimonies is everlasting. Give me understanding, and I shall live. I cry with my whole heart. Hear me, O Lord. I will keep thy statutes. I cried unto thee. Save me, and I will keep thy testimonies. I prevented the dawning of the morning and cried. I hoped in thy word. My eyes prevent the night watches, that I might meditate in thy word. Hear my voice according unto thy loving kindness. Hear my voice according unto thy loving kindness, O Lord. Quicken me according to thy judgment. They draw nigh that follow after mischief. They are far from from thy law. Thou art near, O Lord, and all thy commandments are truth. Concerning thy testimonies I have seen, concerning thy testimonies I have known of old, that thou hast founded them forever. Consider mine affliction and deliver me, for I do not forget thy law. We are on Psalms chapter 119, verse 154. Plead my cause and deliver me. Quicken me according to thy word. Salvation is far from the wicked, for they seek not thy statutes. Great are thy testimonies, O Lord. Quicken me according to thy judgments. Make my prosecutors and my enemies. Many are my prosecutors and my enemies, yet do I not decline from my testimonies. I behold the transgressors and was grieved, because they kept not thy word. Consider how I love thy precepts. Quicken me, O Lord, according to thy loving kindness. Thy word is true from the beginning, and every one of thy righteous judgments endureth forever. Princes have prosecuted me without a cause, but my heart standeth in awe of thy word. I rejoice at thy word, as one that findeth a great spoil. I rejoice at thy word, as one that findeth great spoil. It's there, man. Nobody knows. I got to share it with everybody. I hate and abhor lying, but thy law do I love. 7 times a day do I praise thee, because of thy righteous judgments. Great peace. That's great. 7 times a day do I praise thee, because of thy righteous judgments. Great peace have they which love thy law, and nothing shall offend them. Lord, I have hoped for thy salvation and done thy commandments. My soul has kept thy testimonies, and I love them exceedingly. I have kept thy precepts and thy testimonies, for all my ways are before thee. Let my cry come near before thee, O Lord. Give me understanding to thy word. Let my supplications come before thee. Deliver me according to thy word. My lips shall utter praise when thou hast taught me thy statutes. My tongue shall speak of thy word, for all thy commandments are righteousness. Let thy hand help me, for I have chosen thy precepts. I have longed for thy salvation, O Lord, and thy law is my delight. Let my soul live, and it shall praise thee, and let thy judgments help me. I think a lot of times the Lord takes us when we stop praising God, when we stop serving God. And when the passage I talked about earlier, we're at 175. I want to go back and see if I can find it. Rivers of water run down my eyes because they keep not the law. 133, verse 133. Order my steps in thy word, and let not any iniquity have dominion over me. When we do that, and we continue to do it, it shortens our life. I believe when people start serve God, and you're still serving God, but it's just me. Iniquity had dominion over him. I don't want it. I don't know. I'm going to treat my fellow man proper and right. Lord, I have hope for thy salvation and done thy commandments. My soul hath kept thy testimonies, and I love them exceedingly. I have kept thy precepts and thy testimonies, for all my ways are before thee. Let me cry, come near before thee, O Lord. Give me understanding according to thy word. Let my supplications come before thee. Deliver me according to thy word. My lips shall utter praise when thou hast taught me thy statutes. My tongue shall speak of thy word, for all thy commandments are righteousness. Let thy hand help me, for I have chosen thy precepts. For I have longed for thy salvation, O Lord, and thy law is my delight. Let my soul live, and it shall praise thee, and let thy judgments help me. I have gone astray like a lost sheep. Seek thy servant, for I do not forget thy commandments. So we just read Psalms 119. And I look at Psalms sometimes a little bit like Proverbs. Psalms 119, like Proverbs. And Proverbs is always an interesting. Let's see if I can find a small chapter in Proverbs. And really, in Proverbs, you don't even have to. You can like open up in Proverbs something right before dinner, and you read a passage, one line for Proverbs. Family time. I don't know if they have any small chapters in there, right? But let's just today's the 26th tenet, and let's look at a passage. Let verse 26 ponder the path of thy feet, and let all thy ways be established. So that was Proverbs chapter 4, verse 26. So let's look at 26:26, Proverbs 26:26. Whose hatred is covered by deceit, his wickedness shall be showed before the whole congregation. Whose hatred? When he speaketh fair, believe him not, for there are 7 abominations in his heart. Burning lips or a wicked heart are like a potsherd covered with silver dross. He that hateth dissembleth with his lips, and layeth up deceit with him. Whoso diggeth a pit shall fall therein, and he that rolleth a stone, it will return upon him. A lying tongue hateth those that are afflicted by it, and a flattering mouth worketh ruin. So that's my take on Proverbs. So let's finish up today at Romans chapter 10, verses 9 to 13. That if thou shalt confess with thy mouth the Lord Jesus and believe in thy heart that God has raised him from the dead, thou shalt be saved. For with the heart man believeth unto righteousness, and with the mouth confession is made unto salvation. For the scripture saith, whosoever believeth on him shall not be ashamed. For there is no difference between the Jew and the Greek, for the same Lord over all is rich unto all that call upon him. For whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. Awesome. Thank you for your time today.